Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
Sam Neill, who is currently fighting stage 3 blood cancer, was left in tears during a heartbreaking interview when he was asked a simple question about his parents. The New Zealand actor, 76, broke down on the debut episode of ABC series The Assembly when asked what the best lesson he learned from his parents was. Stunned by the interesting question put forth by one of the autistic interviewers in training, he struggled to hold back tears as he reminisced over his mother Priscilla. "Wow, that's a really interesting question. I think they were." Chokes up, "I don't know why that question has moved me so much, but it has," the Jurassic Park star said. "My parents were of the generation that went through a lot of things. They went through the Great Depression. My mother lost her father in the First World War. She grew up without her father. They went through a lot of stuff, but they were very stoic people." Sam went on to describe a tough year he had in university when he did bugger all, because he was too busy acting in plays and trying to find a girlfriend. He said he became very anxious as final exams came up and he realized he hadn't done any studying, leaving him to confide in his mother about what to do. "I said, oh, I think I'm having a breakdown and I've got exams in a couple weeks and I don't know how I'm going to go," he explained. "She just looked at me and she said, well, you're just going to have to pull yourself together, aren't ya?" I think that was the best lesson I learned from her, is sometimes you just have to pull yourself together. It's a tough lesson, but it's a good one. Sam was born in Northern Ireland to Priscilla Beatrice, née Ingham, and Dermot Neill, while his father, an army officer, was stationed in the country. In the same episode of The Assembly, a series which sees a group of autistic journalists train under the tutelage of Lee Sales, Sam revealed his brutal chemotherapy treatment after being diagnosed with stage 3 blood cancer. "I'm on a different one now, so at least I don't look like somebody's bald thumb," he joked. "That's what I looked like for quite a while. It was embarrassing, and I lost my beard and everything, and my dignity went with it." Sam revealed last year he found out he had cancer in 2022 during his first trip back to New Zealand after lockdowns made returning home to see his family virtually impossible for 2 years. His son Tim told Australian Story his dad had been back in New Zealand for barely an hour when a doctor phoned with the awful news he had cancer. "When he hung the phone up and we sat down, and we had a little bit of a cry together. It was supposed to be a happy day. He didn't get to stay," Tim said. Sam added, "I was in really a fight for my life. And everything was a new world and a rather alarming world. I had 3 or 4 months of reasonably conventional chemotherapies, which are brutal." Tim went to visit his dad as he underwent chemotherapy and was horrified when he saw how weak he was. "I was shocked, and I broke down and I could barely hug him. He was just, bones and skin. And then he was giving me a hard time for being upset about it and saying I was stressing him out, but I was going, 'What are you talking about, Dad?'" Just when they thought Sam's health might be improving, he received even worse news. The cancer was back and it was more serious this time. Sam was eventually put on an experimental cancer drug, which thankfully started to work. He has been in remission for almost 2 years now, but admitted he is prepared for the fact that it will eventually stop working. "I know I've got it, but I'm not really interested in it. It's out of my control. If you can't control it, don't get into it," he said of the disease. Sam now has infusions every 2 weeks and will do so for the rest of his life or until the drug stops working. "The sessions are grueling, very grim and depressing," he said.